It all started on the last day of the year, the kind of evening that feels like it has been stretched thin, as if time itself is waiting for something to happen. I had been scrolling through my phone, looking at the usual New Year's Eve posts, people laughing with friends, fireworks over city skylines, countdowns from TV stations and YouTube live streams. I didn't have plans, not really. Everyone I knew was somewhere else, busy with parties, drinks, and fireworks. And there I was, alone in my apartment, the dull hum of my old radiator filling the silence. I decided to film myself for the countdown, just a small video, maybe a bit of dark humor, a joke for myself. I set my phone on the kitchen counter, checking the angle, making sure my face would be in frame, the background slightly messy, normal. I wanted it to look real, unscripted, like a normal person preparing for New Year's. I sat down, scrolling through my social media feeds one last time, and noticed the chat notifications I hadn't opened. Most of them were automated Happy New Year wishes from group chats, and I ignored them. I was thinking about how nothing had really changed in my life this past year, how mundane everything had felt. When the clock struck 11:50 p.m., I felt a strange pull, like the air in the apartment had thickened. I remember checking my phone. It was running slow, as if the seconds were dragging. Then I noticed a small detail that I couldn't explain. On the livestream countdown I had opened from a popular channel, the numbers didn't match my clock. My clock said 11:52, but their countdown was frozen at 10, 9, 8. I laughed nervously. Must be a glitch, I muttered to myself. I tapped the screen, refreshed it. Nothing changed. The numbers were still counting down, but slowly, unnaturally. I thought it was amusing and eerie at the same time, so I started recording myself. I joked in front of the camera. All right, let's see how long this glitch lasts. If I'm still watching this in 10 minutes, someone called the nerd police. I tried to laugh, but it came out hollow. The more I looked at the numbers, the more I felt like they were taunting me, stretching time in a way that made my chest tighten. 7, 6, 5. The countdown ticked at a slower pace than my own clock, like it had a mind of its own. By 11:58, I started feeling uncomfortable. My apartment felt colder, not physically, but as if the space itself had grown heavy. The shadows seemed longer, sharper, as if they were stretching toward me. I told myself it was just the angle of the lights, or the isolation, or maybe too much caffeine. I tried to ignore it. Then came 11:59. Everyone else in the world was counting down, cheering, popping champagne. But here, in my apartment, it was just me and the endless numbers. 3, 2, 1, and then nothing. Not a cheer, not a chime, just silence. But the countdown didn't end. It kept going. 0 dash, -1 dash, -2. Each number dragging longer than the last. I leaned forward, my hand trembling as I tapped the screen, refreshed everything. The numbers wouldn't stop. My phone, the TV, my laptop. All of them were synchronized in this impossible countdown. I tried to laugh again, but it sounded forced, brittle. The room grew darker with each passing number, the shadows folding into corners, growing thicker, more defined. I felt like I wasn't just alone. I felt like I was being observed. That's when I heard it. At first, it was faint, like a whisper from the next room, a murmur I thought was coming from the radiator. Then it grew louder, unmistakable. Voices, people shouting, cheering. But I knew I was alone. I checked the hallway, the bedroom, even the bathroom. No one. And yet, The voices were real, or as real as any sound can be. The shouting synchronized with the countdown. 0-1-2-3. Each number brought a new wave of cheering, and I couldn't escape it. I tried to turn off the devices, unplug them, even smash my phone against the counter. Nothing worked. The countdown persisted, now almost screaming at me from every screen, every speaker, every reflective surface. I backed away, my heart pounding, the numbers flashing in my mind, even when I closed my eyes. -4, -5, -6. The shadows began to move, not with me, but as if they had their own will. They slid across the floor, pooled in the corners, and when I looked directly at them, I swore I saw shapes, figures, silhouettes of people frozen mid-motion, smiling, laughing. And I knew with a terrible certainty that those figures were me, every one of them a version of me celebrating, frozen forever in the countdown. I ran to the door, desperate to escape, but the hallway stretched endlessly. The door handle was miles away, or so it felt. I stumbled, falling to my knees, my palms scraping against the cold floor. The shadows loomed over me, whispering, laughing, counting. I pressed my ears to the floor, hoping to drown out the noise. But inside my head, the countdown was deafening. -7, -8, -9, I screamed, and the screaming echoed back. But it wasn't my voice. It was distorted, joyous, celebratory, mocking. I curled into a ball, covering my ears, rocking back and forth. The numbers kept coming. I couldn't tell if minutes or hours passed, if it was seconds or days. And then I felt something touch my shoulder, a cold, impossible weight, like someone had been standing there all along. I dared not look. I wanted to vanish, to melt into the floor, to cease to exist. But the countdown dragged me forward. -10, -11, -12. Somewhere in the abyss of the countdown, I realized the truth. This wasn't a glitch. This wasn't a trick. The countdown had claimed me. It wasn't counting down to New Year. It was counting down from life, from reality, from everything I had ever known. Every number was a moment slipping away, a shadow of existence fading into nothingness. I screamed again, but now the laughter joined my voice, became me, and I could feel myself splintering, fracturing into pieces that merged with the figures in the shadows. -50, -51, -52. I tried to fight, to resist, to remember the old me, but there was no me, only the countdown. I don't know how long I stayed there, or if anyone would ever find me. My apartment, when they eventually looked in, was empty. Just my phone lying on the counter, recording. And on the screen, the countdown continued. -453, -454, -455. It never ended. And sometimes, late at night, I swear I hear the faintest whisper from that phone. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. It's still counting. And I'm still here, trapped somewhere between the numbers, the shadows, and the voices, waiting for someone else to watch, waiting for someone else to start their countdown.